Steelers Nation, let's get right into it. The Pittsburgh Steelers are locked in, making move after move this offseason. It's clear this team is committed to improving every single day to bring greatness back to the city of Pittsburgh. And you know what that means? Super Bowl dreams are alive. And we're here to talk about how the front office is still not done. So before we dive into this explosive update on a possible hometown hero returning, TJ Watt's contract dilemma, and how the Dallas Cowboys might ruin our summer make. Sure you smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. It really helps us bring you more exclusive Steelers coverage like this. Now, let's get into it. The safety room in Pittsburgh looks very different right now. And there's a name floating around the free agent market that could make a lot of sense: Jordan Whitehead. And Steelers fans, this one has a hometown twist. Whitehead is a Monica, Pennsylvania native, and a proud alum of Central Valley High School. He even played college ball right next door at Pitt from 2015 to 2017. Sharing the same facility with the Steelers during his collegiate years, that connection runs deep. And with Minkah Fitzpatrick now officially back with the Dolphins following that blockbuster trade involving Jalen Ramsey and Jonnu Smith, the Steelers could be eyeing a familiar face to patch up their secondary dot at just 28 years old. Whitehead brings the perfect mix of veteran experience and physical grit. He's a Super Bowl champion with the Buccaneers. He's started 89 games in the NFL, and he's proven to be a versatile defender, whether lined up deep, in the box, or even in the slot. His coverage skills, high tackle numbers, and ability to pressure the QB make him an immediate fit in Pittsburgh's hard-nosed defensive identity. But there's one catch: Whitehead was involved in a car accident back in January that resulted in a neck injury and a careless driving citation. While early reports suggest it's not a long-term concern, teams are likely taking their time evaluating his medical status. Still, with Deshaun Elliott locked in and Juan Thornhill in the mix, adding a third proven veteran to that safety room makes too much sense, especially one who already understands Pittsburgh, its fans, and the weight of wearing black and gold. Now let's pivot to the elephant in the room: TJ Watt's contract. Steelers Nation, this is no longer just about getting Watt paid. It's now a race against time, and here's why. Micah Parsons and the Dallas Cowboys are closing in on a potential mega. If Jerry Jones signs Parsons before the Steelers handle Watt, the entire pass rusher market could reset again, and that could absolutely wreck any leverage the Steelers might still have. We've heard the reports. Watt wants to be the highest paid edge rusher in football, possibly asking for $41 million or more per year. Why? Because Myles Garrett is now earning $40 million annually after his latest extension with Cleveland. And Watt? He's got comparable, if not better, credentials. Let's not forget he's a former AP Defensive Player of the Year, a 5-time Pro Bowler, and arguably the most irreplaceable player on the team. He's suited up for 34 of the last 34 regular season games. He's still elite. He's still feared. But with contract talks stalling, and with training camp creeping up fast, Steelers fans are starting to sweat. Watt has already skipped OTAs. He could hold out completely this summer. And if Parsons signs before Watt, you better believe his number just goes up. This is where things get complicated. The Steelers have spent this offseason building what looks like a championship roster. Aaron Rodgers is here, DK Metcalf is here, Ramsey and Jonnu Smith, both impact players, are here. Omar Khan has pulled off magic, but all of that could mean nothing if Watt doesn't get extended and this thing drags into the season. The idea of Parsons getting $45 million a year isn't far-fetched, especially with the way the cap is rising. And if that happens, the Steelers will either have to match or exceed that new top-of-the-market price. The result? Even more financial pressure, even less time, and an even higher risk that Watt becomes disgruntled. That's why this isn't just a Steelers problem, it's a league-wide domino effect. And once the Cowboys make their move, Pittsburgh's hand may be forced. Let's be real, TJ Watt is the heartbeat of this defense. The Steelers can't afford to risk another year without him locked in and focused. When Watt misses games, the defense struggles. When he plays, they're a top-tier unit. It's that simple. If you're truly all-in on 2025, and everything this team has done suggests they are, then there's no excuse not to get this deal done. Yes, it's a business. Yes, it's expensive. But losing Watt would be a nightmare scenario. one that Laver Arrington, a former Pro Bowl linebacker, recently called a total meltdown on his podcast. He said, "The Steelers have no other recourse but to sign TJ Watt. If he walks, it's over." And honestly, he's not wrong. So back to Jordan Whitehead. Why is this still relevant? Because while Watt is the headline, Whitehead is the kind of quiet, savvy signing that could shore up a thin spot and keep this defense deep and dangerous. With Fitzpatrick gone and only 2 reliable safeties in place, adding Whitehead gives the Steelers options. He's affordable, he's local, he's experienced, and most importantly, he fits. Omar Khan has made bold, calculated decisions all offseason. One more smart move at safety could be the cherry on top. When news broke that Aaron Rodgers had finally signed with the Steelers, fans were stunned, excited, and honestly, a little cautious. After all, this is a 41-year-old quarterback coming off a rocky year with the Jets. But here's the deal. Rodgers wasn't the problem in New York. Between the lack of protection, inconsistent coaching, and zero chemistry with his weapons, even a future Hall of Famer couldn't save that ship. Now, Rodgers lands in Pittsburgh with a new mindset, a new offense, and a much more organized front office led by Omar Khan. The Steelers are betting big on Rodgers' football IQ, leadership, and still dangerous arm to elevate this team back into true AFC contention. And folks, don't sleep on this. Rodgers doesn't just bring a resume, he brings instant elevation. That means certain guys on this Steelers offense are about to have career years. Let's kick things off with a name you've probably been waiting to see for a while. Now, Darnell Washington. At 6 feet 7 inches and nearly 270 pounds, Washington is an absolute mismatch nightmare. Steelers fans have been calling for his breakout since day one, but let's be honest, the opportunities just haven't been there. Until now, in his first 2 seasons, Washington's primary role was blocking. And to his credit, he did that exceptionally well. But we saw flashy red zone plays, tough catches in tight windows that hinted there's so much more under the hood now. With Rodgers at quarterback and new OC, Arthur Smith, calling the shots, we could finally see Washington unleashed as a true weapon in the passing game. Early reports from off-season workouts say Rodgers has been praising Washington's growth, timing, and hands. Imagine trying to guard a 6 feet 7 inches freak of nature in the red zone with Rodgers throwing dimes. Good luck, NFL defenses. With Pat Freiermuth and Jonnu Smith also in the tight end mix, Arthur Smith will have endless options to run multiple T-sets. But don't be surprised if Darnell Washington starts stealing the spotlight. Let's lump the next 2 names together, because they're both in almost the exact same situation. Calvin Austin, 3, and Roman Wilson. Starting with Calvin Austin, he's shown flashes. The speed, the route running, the fearlessness over the middle lits. All there, his 2024 campaign was promising. And with George Pickens out of the picture, Austin now has a chance to own the WR2 role behind DK Metcalf. Then there's Roman Wilson, the Michigan rookie, who sadly couldn't stay healthy last season, but let's not forget why the Steelers drafted him. Smooth hands, crisp routes, and elite separation. If he stays healthy, he could quickly earn Rodgers' trust as a go-to target, especially on 3rd downs. Both of these guys have what Rodgers loves in receivers. They're smart, they're fast, and they don't waste time, with DK drawing top corners and safeties deep. Austin and Wilson will have plenty of room to operate underneath. And let's be real, Rodgers has a track record of turning young receivers into stars. Think Randall Cobb, think Devontae Adams. Don't be shocked if Calvin Austin or Roman Wilson becomes the next name on that list. Now, let's talk about a guy who's already earned the respect of Steelers. Jaylen Warren with Najee Harris. Gone and rookie Caleb Johnson still learning the ropes. Warren is the clear-cut RB1 entering 2025. And here's the exciting part. Rodgers is going to make Warren even better. Think about Rodgers is 41. He's going to want quick dump-offs, reliable screens, and checkdowns when the pocket collapses. Warren thrives in those scenarios. He's shifty, catches well out of the backfield, and has that rare ability to break tackles after the catch. Not only that, but Warren's running style is perfect for this new-look Steelers offense. With Rodgers spreading out defenses, expect a lot more running lanes for Warren to exploit. And don't be surprised if he hits career highs in both rushing and receiving this season. If you're a fantasy football fan watching this, you might want to bump Warren up your draft board. Of course, none of this works without solid protection, and the Steelers know it. The O-line faced injuries and inexperience in 2024, but things are trending up. Broderick Jones is officially moving back to his natural left tackle spot. Huge news, he'll anchor that blindside protection, giving Rodgers more confidence in the pocket. Add in the return of Troy Fautanu, who looked like a rising star before his injury, and suddenly this line looks far more reliable. If the unit stays healthy, there's no reason this offense can't finish top 10 in the league. Now, we want to hear from you. Should the Steelers bring hometown hero Jordan Whitehead back to Pittsburgh? And how concerned are you about the T.J. Watt contract? Should Omar Khan make him the highest paid pass rusher in the NFL before Micah Parsons gets his deal? Let us know in the comments below. We read every single one. Your voice matters here, and don't forget, if you enjoyed this breakdown, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. Big things are happening in Pittsburgh, and you don't want to miss a second of it. Until next time, let's go Steelers.